I'll try to type fast to make it for this 3 minute delay.
No worries, you all wait on me for a minute. I decided that'd be a good day to pack up all their utility work at the end of my road.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'll try to type fast to make it for this. Okay, thank you.
All right, you good to go?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Now are we good to go? All right,
Let's all remember to shut our phone off.
right? All right, so at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. All rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So at this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Katie, seconded by Peggy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Comments from the public? No one? Okay. Accept a donation for food service lunch in the amount of 600. I'll make the motion that we accept this donation.
I'll second it.
Motion by myself, seconded by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Treasurer's report for August 2024.
I'll make a motion to accept the August 24 treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Motion by Katie, seconded by Peggy to accept the treasurer's report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, president's report and correspondence. I want to say I appreciate all the effort that all the staff put in over this last homecoming week. It was great to see so many faces at so many of the events and really getting out there within the student community during it. Yeah, so want to thank all of the staff that participated in that and went that extra mile. Other than that, let's move on to the committee chair reports. Budget and finance.
Okay, we did meet, we do have a couple of items that we'll be voting on later this evening.
Okay. Buildings and grounds.
Same. We will be voting on a couple of items.
Okay. Policy, planning and curriculum did not have a meeting this month. So there'll be nothing in regards to that. Moving on, reports from the superintendent.
Okay, just, I put a couple articles in there, just want to keep it in the forefront with you. There are a lot of referendums continuing to go through on in the state. We are talking about one, or planning to go to one in November, building wise. Now, I just wanna, we did pass several operating referendums in our district, and I just wanted to mention that, that may be something we might have to consider down the road again as well. However, with staffing changes and we have some retires coming on and things like that, I think it makes it manageable for us physically to manage the district depending on how we replace those positions and work it through attrition. So just to keep that in mind, our auditor did indicate, since we had ESSER funds, we use some of that to supplement our budget. But he did ask us, how are we gonna continue after that is gone? Well, one of the ways we're gonna try and continue is by managing staffing, once through attrition and retirees, how we replace. Obviously, there's gonna be a savings because the heavy one, the heavy salaries are coming off, we hire lighter, that's fact. But we also have to be prudent on how we manage the positions on that. And we did that the last time around. We did have a savings of around $400,000 just from the staffing piece. Now, we had other expenses that went to, but in the same time, we were managing that and we're trying to be fiscally responsible. Couple of things though, I mentioned last operating referendum. In 2009, if you saw that in the article here, the state funding did keep up with inflation, and that's based on the consumer price index. So whatever that percentage is, shows the inflationary rate. And I think typically what happened was the state increased aid by that amount. And we did the math the last time around, and we would not have had to go to referendum had that stayed in. So that's just something to put in, to know and keep in mind that operating referendums maybe aren't out of the question in the future, but we still have a little time on the one we have. And the other thing too, I wanted to focus on here was that you can see other than Indiana and Idaho, we did not keep up with educational expenses. I guess it would be inflationary needs and things like that. So our legislature isn't necessarily devoting the funding towards the inflationary needs that goes on, which leads me to my next point. There's going to be a significant turnover in the legislature moving forward. With our district, Romaine Quinn, Senate District 25, nothing, I haven't heard anything there, or David Armstrong, the Assembly District 75. So I haven't heard anything where our people are necessarily moving along, but there will be some turnover, and that's significant because, you know, the budget items do get voted upon by the legislature. So just, that's what those two articles were kind of just about there. And then I also wanted to show you the Title IX certificate. The company that did the training for us at a law firm, Renning Lewis and Lacey. They stepped up big because we were all scrambling at that time when Title IX came out. How were we gonna get trained? We were all told, you guys are doing this. You guys are redoing the policy and everything else, which we did. We complied by everything, but I want to show you what it looked like in terms of time frame. So I did attend each one of these training sessions. I know I was on with Carrie for each one of them as well, but the other administrators, depending on whether they were required to or not, didn't necessarily have to attend all of them. And then the August 21st, I just want to make sure you guys are aware that is for all district personnel, and that was recorded and that was presented to them as a recording to watch on their own time as like the mandatory reporting videos and things like that. So in terms of Title IX, we should be up to speed on where we're to be right now. We have the policy, we did put it in place based on the recommendations by the School Board Association and the staff training as per required.
Excellent.
Kevin, if I have one question on that, if I may. Now, if we hire staff partway through the year, are they required to attend that, or are they good until the next year? So let's say we hire a new staff person in
Okay.
December.
Okay.
Are they required to take this training immediately, or can they?
No, I would recommend we
We-
train them.
yeah.
Yeah, we would just do it at our building.
So we just have it, so
Yes,
we can do it.
just to cover ourselves on that, yes.
Thank you.
Kevin, one other thing, and I know this, that first one on the state education advisory, you know, about the referendums. And I don't know if the paper can help us with this, and I know it's 4 pages long, but, you know, if we could cut bits and pieces of this out, or maybe even include it somehow on our webpage.
Oh, so yeah, I can find bullet points on that. I can, Becky actually sent me an article. It's not
Okay.
in this set because I was already had these in.
Okay,
But that's something we can talk about too. You had sent me that article and he's asking to, yeah, we can look at maybe putting some, I can actually write an article and put some stuff in there based on that, because I think you guys had wanted that anyway.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I will work on that.
okay.
Anyone have anything else for Kevin? Okay. Principals report, Mrs. Herman.
Good evening. Preliminary numbers, we have, last Friday was third Friday count, so typically I report out at the September meeting where we're at. So for 2024, we have 174 students enrolled at the elementary. Last year at the same time, we had 189. In 2022, we had 195. And in 2021, we had 186. So a little bit of a decline. We lost a few of our larger families to other districts based on their housing. situation. So I think that's a good portion of our numbers there.
There was actually an article today in one of the national news magazines stating that they're seeing lower enrollment across the country because of the lower birth rates, because people cannot afford to have the large families anymore. So I think that unfortunately, this is just gonna be the trend. I mean, we can't force people to have more children.
Correct. Any questions on the numbers? UW Superior, so I guess just kind of tooting my own horn here. So I've been asked by UW Superior to sit on an educator preparation program advisory panel. Their goal is to have more communication between the university and the K-12 system. And so I was one of 7 who are asked to be on this panel. So we'll meet a couple times a year for the next 2 years to give feedback on how best for them to train new teachers coming into the building and what we're seeing. So just wanted to let you know that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ms. Campbell.
Great, well, good start for the school year. We had an excellent homecoming week with lots of busyness and festivities and no major concerns or issues. So that was a big focus for us, huge. And then our staff have been working hard at working with the students on our expectations and explicitly teaching our handbook. 100% of the high school 9-12 have completed and passed our handbook test that is required. And almost everyone, a couple of middle schoolers need to do some retakes with us. But mostly just the incoming 6th graders, which makes sense because it's new for them. So otherwise things are off to a good start.
Good to hear. Reports, special education director.
So special education, we currently have 73 students that are receiving services. Which with the declining numbers and larger populations of students graduating in the last few years, that's kind of decreased those numbers. Currently, we have 2 new referral evaluations in progress. We have 6 reevaluations in progress. We have 8 reevaluations that are due in December, and we have to start those a couple months early if we're doing any new testing. We also have 3 birth to 3 notifications, which could lead to potential referrals as soon as December. So, homeless, currently we have no identified homeless students in the district.
Wow, that's good.
So since COVID, our numbers have been kind of decreasing, and with the list verified on there, all of the people that were on our list either graduated or have found
Awesome.
permanent housing
Great.
for their
Excellent.
families. So I'm excited.
Anyone have anything for Denise? Indian education report.
Kind of like Carrie said, my numbers are down as well. I have 106 students in my program, which is down about 20 from last year. Same thing, we had the biggest graduating class, as far as my students that I've ever had, and then several large families, have these districts. And then with my seniors this year, I have, met with them and talked through kind of what their plans are, what their credits look like, and knock on wood, all of my seniors look in really good shape. So I'm really excited about that.
Good.
Good.
Hopefully it'll be a smooth, easy spring.
Do you have any events or activities planned for the outdoor classroom coming up?
Not really.
Okay.
We had talked to some people about utilizing it during deer hunting season
Mhm.
to kind of bring kids out and talk about, how to process deer as one of the traditional foods.
Mhm.
Mhm. And we're gonna be back in the swing of things with Sugar Bush this spring.
Excellent. All right, there's nothing else. Looking to get approved minutes for the regular school board meeting of August 26th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular school board meeting minutes from August 26th, 2024.
I'll second that.
We got a motion by Steve, seconded by Katie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, on to new business. Board vacancy candidates, introduction.
All right, Eric is our candidate who did apply. He's the only one. So as I mentioned, you can stand up. Maybe. Put you on the spot. We'll put you at the table if all goes well. So, just it's good to have you here. So.
Thanks. So I'm Eric Olson. I got 3 kids in school. And that's why I'm here for the kids. So nice to meet you all.
Okay, at this time, we'll take a vote on accepting Eric into the position on the board. Would you all like to do it by ballot, or are you fine
We
doing it
have to do
orally?
it by voice now. The law changed. We have to do it orally in an open meeting.
Okay,
And it has to be a roll call.
okay,
We changed all this.
Okay.
I think in a long time we didn't do it this way. That's how I know.
so at this time,
So I'll make a motion that we accept Eric Olson as the new board member.
I'll second it.
we have a motion by Peggy, seconded by Katie. Steve, take the roll.
Tom,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Steve, yes. Peggy?
Yes.
Okay.
Does Jamie want to vote?
Jamie, you don't vote on this? Okay.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
You're in the club.
Congratulations.
I'm good, sorry.
Call that 5 then. All right. Does he get sworn in now or after?
Yes, now.
Okay,
Mhm.
Read this.
all right, Eric.
Yeah, John's got up, yeah, sorry.
All right, Eric. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Eric Olson,
Eric Olson,
having been elected or appointed to the school district of Siren School Board,
having been elected to this
school district
school district
of Siren School Board, swear
swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the
and
Constitution
the Constitution
of the state of
of the
Wisconsin,
state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully
and will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duty
of said
of
office
said office
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome aboard, sir. No confetti and no streamers, you know.
Just happy.
Anyways. All right, so moving on. Scott's lawn care bid. Great way to follow this up.
So, Dan is here tonight. We did talk about this, at Buildings and Grounds and, been very happy, with the lawn care as the way it is. You want to speak as to why you want it done now? Go ahead and talk a little bit to it there, Dan.
I guess in the past, Scott said that we've always had this vote in the spring, so it's kind of a rush. So we thought if it was done in the fall, then it'd be easier to get, the bids set up and everything, and not then he can plan for next year instead of, oh, do I have it or not type of things.
And I'm assuming this was put out for bids.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only
He's the only one that bid,
one we've had.
but we did
in
put it
several
out,
years.
right? I
Not
mean, we did.
recently. This wasn't put out for bid now. This is just him coming forward and saying, here would be my plan for next year.
Okay,
We've had him for as long as I.
Right, so we probably haven't been out to bid for landscaping services since we accepted him, and then he has a 3-year contract, so we haven't had a bidding
Yeah,
process in at least 3 years.
right, in 3 years we
Yeah.
have, right. And it's, under the limit that we don't have to bid it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. I
Okay,
mean,
I just wanna make sure.
I have authority under 5,000, but I just wanted to make sure that the.
Mhm.
We were just talking, and Steve, you can relate to this too, in terms of the village, there just aren't a lot of people coming forward to do that.
It's like the roof, we get one bid now. We used to get 5, now we get one.
And I think.
I just wanna make sure we're doing.
And
it
it's
legally.
just the lawn, they're not doing any weeding, they're
Oh,
not
right, they
doing
don't.
any trimming of anything.
Yeah,
I guess.
they do are.
Well, weed whacking, but not like trimming the trees
Oh.
and some of the other trimming the
Just
shrubs,
strictly lawn.
Landscaping
Yeah.
related stuff.
just
Okay.
grass, that's it.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion, we accept the bid from Scott's Lawn Service for our lawn mowing for the next 3 years, 2025 through 2027.
I'll second that.
Motion by Steve, seconded by Katie to accept the bid. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right. Quotes for boiler coil.
Okay, so this also was at buildings and we talked about it and we had an older bid from one of the companies on there. We just received a new one today. Once again, Dan does want to speak on this. We've had several quotes, but I don't know that they're dollar for dollar quotes. There's some missing things on some of those if you want to just address
Yeah.
a couple of items on that. We could talk about buildings.
Yep. The total mechanical, that's quote's fine. The Halverson quote doesn't have the electrical in it. The Gartner quote, the original quote was made in 2022, I believe. And they redid it this summer. And so then I called them to see if they would stay with that. He looked into it, he said that that unit that they quoted us for was no longer available. They had to find a new unit to replace it. So it was originally at 23. So that with this different unit or change in unit, so it jumped up 20 to 28. So they're still, in reality, they're the cheapest bid.
because you said Halverson's isn't complete, correct?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't include
You
the
wanna speak to
electrical
total
work.
mechanical too, because wouldn't they have to redo a majority of the?
Yeah, well, the issue with total mechanical one is that they don't have a Honeywell controllers,
Right.
which is what we have. They could put a Johnson control in, but that's different than what we have. So then that would be an issue with the control system. So the Gartner would be better. They already do most of the controlling, basically all the controlling in our schools. So it would be much easier to set it up that way.
That's a little bit cheaper.
A little bit, yeah. But this is something that probably should have been fixed over 10 years ago, but kind of been pushed off a few times. So we're hoping we can just make it through.
Well,
Isn't that how we do pretty much everything?
I'll make the motion that we accept the new Gartner bid.
I'll second it.
Motion by Katie, seconded by Steve to accept the new bid from Gardner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, short-term borrowing amount request.
Okay, once again, this did go to budget and finance, and so we're currently borrowing 1.1 million, and we do the short-term borrowing between aid payments and tax levy money. So all of our revenue comes via tax money or state aid, or federal grants, which is in that category. But one of the things that happens to us, like what happened this year, there was here's an example. We'd like to up the amount to 1.6. That's a game changer for us because we don't run short. We don't have to contact vendors and tell them, hey, can you hold off because we haven't gotten a payment. So what happened this year to get our tax levy, they changed the ACH process. They sent a physical check. It came from Oregon and we were planning on it based on the date we received it last year, but we had no knowledge. In fact, I think what they did was put the information in with the check, letting us know. But it was at least, I don't know how late, what was it? I mean, so anyway, we were planning on that income. So what happens is the short-term borrowing gets us through between payments. And we did exceed our short-term borrowing this last year, just based on the timing of the payments and the aid. And it's not that we necessarily don't have the money, we just don't have the money in between times. So, and most every district, if not all districts, short-term borrow. It's just a matter of how much you need. And we felt like in talking, we have the authority to borrow up to 1.6 from the Department of Public Instruction based on their formula. Laura's been in contact with the bank and then we took it to budget.
I'll make a motion, we raise the short-term borrowing to $1,699,000.
I'll second.
$9.
I'm not, no, we can get by without the nine.
Okay.
I'll second
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and we're asking for authority. It doesn't mean we're gonna
Correct.
spend this much.
Right,
We just, it gives us more flexibility. That's all.
Okay, motion by Peggy, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Moving on. Most difficult thing of the night. All right, meetings calendar. So, just to give you all an idea, in case you didn't see it in the email, we do have a training, or not training, workshop that is gonna be going on. That's the 15th. So
4 to 6.
keep that in mind. Right now, let's see, it's showing a tentative date for budget and finance on the 14th at 4:15. Does that work for you?
Works for me.
Yep.
All right, let's go with that then. And then we've got a tentative date of the 10th for buildings and grounds. Does that work for you?
Are you gonna put,
Yeah,
does he know that?
no. He will.
Okay. Yes, that works for me. That works
Yes.
for you,
Eric,
Eric.
What
Okay.
time were you guys wanting to do that meeting?
It was a 3:30 on October 10th,
Okay.
and that's fine.
Same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna be at town meetings next month?
Yeah, they're all on here.
They are.
Mhm.
Did I miss that?
There's only one that's still a question mark. And there was two as a question mark when this went to print. But we've got an answer on it now, so.
I don't see them.
They're in there under ones, the first one I see is on the 8th, says referendum question mark. On the 9th, referendum 7 PM.
Under the
On
meeting
The
calendar?
10th.
yeah,
Here,
Yeah, they're written in red.
I don't have that, or I'm not opening, I'm just looking at it. Got it. Never mind, we're good.
Yep.
I wasn't looking at the whole calendar.
could you read that out loud, please, so that we can? I can send it to you. Thank you.
So the last one would be the policy planning and curriculum. I know, I believe, Jamie, didn't you say the 15th? You're wondering if we could do it that day?
No, I didn't want to do it the 15th because we're already booked and I don't know, I wasn't planning on doing school board that day because Sophia has cross country, but I guess I don't have a choice. Just the only other day that won't work for me is the 3rd. So whatever works for you. I see Kelly's not there.
Right.
Did Lisa, do we have anything from Kelly?
I don't have anything from Kelly.
No.
Okay, thank you. So whatever works for you, Tom.
All right,
And just think in mind, Kelly usually, I think 4:15.
right,
She usually has to work till,
right.
but some days are 5, so it's really hard when she's not here giving us any feedback.
Yeah, yeah, if we could do it on the 14th, at 5 or 5:15,
Yeah,
5:30,
because we have referendum meetings that night.
the 14th? Oh, yeah. All right, looks like the 16th is open. Do 4:15 on the 16th?
I should be able to do that.
Okay, and we'll see. Try and get a hold of Kelly to see if we have to adjust that, but for now, we'll put 4:15 on the 16th.
Okay, sounds good, Tom. Thank you.
Yep. All right.
So Tom, I know we have the regular meeting, that's on the 28th. We also have the,
Annual meeting.
annual meeting and budget hearing that evening. Just typically what we've done in the past is we've shortened the regular meeting to try and get to the,
Yeah,
however you.
And we
want-
move it early, so
However you. wanna
Right.
do that.
usually if we have it at 5, we're done in enough time that we get a little bit of a break before budget and
Curling
annual.
on your chair,
Yeah.
please.
we did last year, so. We'll just stick with that. I don't think that's a problem.
And we adjourn and then we come back to approve the.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing else in regards to the calendar? Moving on, looking for motion to approve the bills for the bill cycle of 8/27 to 9/23.
I'll make that.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Peggy, seconded by Katie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, items for board signature. I think a couple from me to take care of other ones we're taking care of, Lisa.
There's some in there that you need to sign. There's
Yep.
some in there that Tom needs, excuse me,
Eric.
Steve needs to sign.
Or Steve, okay, got it. All right. Moving on. All right, at this time, I'd like to convene into closed session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.851 to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Considerations of financial, medical, social, or personal information, and or to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral or written advice.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion by Peggy,
I'll second it.
seconded by Steve. Steve, please take the roll.
Tom,
Yes.
Katie?
Yeah.